you're working with a solicitor and buying your house, make sure you are getting your money's worth. They are not cheap, and they are necessary or they are required to make sure that you buy the house. So please make sure you're getting your money's worth. In this video, we are going to talk about having a solicitor and using them to buy your property. There are so many things you need to put into consideration when you're having a solicitor, and it's a legal requirement to use them to buy a property in the UK. So as a first-time buyer, I'm going to take you through all the things you should think about, all the things you should know, the type of questions you should be asking them, and how to work with solicitors to make the most out of them. It's Abigail, and welcome back to my channel. What do conveyancing solicitors do, and why are they important in a home buying process? First of all, it's a legal requirement in this country to have a conveyancing solicitor when buying your house. So most people will get a lawyer after they've identified the house or the flat or the property that they want to buy. But some do have, when I say some solicitors do have a pre-purchase form of help for you, and I've seen it become very relevant when you're buying in auction. So for instance, when you're buying in auction, the terms and conditions of the sale are pre-agreed by the seller of the property. So the seller's solicitor would have drafted a contract that you are supposed to abide by if you bought the property in the auction. So most of the time, before you can even buy the property in an auction, you need to get a solicitor who would read through the terms and conditions and let you know what you need to be aware of before you buy the property. In this case, when it's in auction, majority of the time, you can't change any of the terms and conditions. So it's either it works for you and you buy it, or it doesn't work for you and you walk away. You don't go ahead and say, oh, it doesn't work for me. Can you change this? Can you change that? No, it doesn't work like that in auction. So that is when I have seen that majority of the time you have a solicitor before you even put in an offer. In this case, before you start bidding for the property, and you should know what you're getting yourself involved in before you go ahead to try and buy a property in auction. Now, what do the solicitors really do? So they are there to, one, pretty much advise you legally on the terms and conditions you are putting yourself in by purchasing the house that you want to purchase. And in this case, if it's a leasehold, if it's a freehold, if there are some terms and conditions at lands for that particular land that you are buying, at the land title registry, for that particular land or property that you are buying, there are some terms and conditions that you just need to be aware of. So they will legally advise you for you to understand what kind of contracts you're getting yourself into when you are buying that particular property. The next thing is they do searches. So they do environmental searches. They will give you like a report on whether the place is waterlogged, whether it's close to, a building of extreme beauty, whether it's in a particular area that has some restrictions. So they are supposed to do some searches and give you advice or let you know what is in the area that you need to be aware of as a property owner in the area. The next thing that the solicitor will do is to draft or review the contracts between you and the seller or between yourself and any other party involved to make sure that you are going ahead to put yourself in the right contract. So they will review it. They'll give you a summary of whatever is going on in the contract, or they will draft a contract if you are maybe the one selling or you're the one, or if you need to bring a contract, and then you go through it to make sure that whatever you're putting yourself into is being handled legally by a solicitor. The lawyer as well, or the solicitor, checks the title deed of the seller. So in this case, they will check to make sure that whoever is selling the house actually owns the house to sell it. Their names are registered in the right places with the land registry. And if there are any restrictions with the title deed, they will make sure that you are aware of it so that you can move forward with it. So sometimes maybe there is a restriction with the mortgage lender. And in this case, the mortgage lender is saying that, oh, they owe me money, or the seller has not been able to fulfill their mortgage obligations and therefore they have a hold on the property. That means that the solicitor will make sure that you're fully aware of all that's going on and whatever rights any other person has on that property. They need to make sure that you are aware of it and know how to go about it. One other thing that the solicitor does is help you to review your mortgage offer and documents. So when you get a mortgage offer for the house that you're looking to buy or for the property that you're looking to buy, the solicitor is the one that now takes charge to explain. So you'll usually draft you a nice summary on pretty much everything that you need to know whilst entering the contract of buying the property with a mortgage lender. So what the terms and conditions are of the mortgage lender and what your obligations are that you need to be fully aware of. And they would help you understand all these on the legal front before you go ahead and exchange or buy that property. The solicitor, after these stages, will now prepare to exchange contracts with the seller's solicitor. You, the buyer, your solicitor will be looking to exchange signed contracts with the seller's solicitors. So if you've gone through everything looks amazing and you're like, okay, I'm ready to move, then they will prepare the exchange and make sure that goes through so that now the agreement is binding. Then after that, they would get the deposit from you. So you would send the deposit over to them and then they will do the exchange of the cash as well. So they'll get the money from the bank, they'll get the money from yourself, and then they will send that over to the seller. And also they would work on you paying your stamp duty. So they'll work out the stamp duty and they would get the stamp duty from you and inform HMRC or the government and pay your stamp duty on behalf of yourself. The last main thing that the solicitor does is to ensure the transfer of ownership is registered with the land registry. Now, I've come to notice after buying a few properties in this country that takes quite a while because there's usually a backlog at the land registry. So they might tell you that, oh, they're finished, but it will take maybe 6 months for your name to show at the land registry. Do make sure to follow up on it pretty much every month to try and make sure that your name is well recorded at the land registry. Otherwise, when you need that form of information to do any other thing, so like if you're doing your citizenship and you're saying that you own property in the country, they will check land registry, and if your name is not there, it would look like you don't own the property. So just make sure that that is finally done, especially because you usually would have paid the solicitor and the transaction would have been done a while before that land registry update actually takes place. Now, to the important stuff, how to work with a solicitor. First of all, when you are sending emails to the solicitor, one thing that's primary is to make sure that the full address of the property that is in question or that you're looking to buy is always in the subject line of the emails that you're sending to the solicitor. Why? So the solicitor is working with so many other buyers outside of yourself, and they have like a team. They have people who look through the emails and send it to the right solicitors that are handling it. They have people who are following up on particular issues in the firm. You don't want anyone to miss any of your emails, and you don't want people to struggle to understand where this is coming from, where it's going to, who's handling it. So you want to make sure that you are addressing or you are putting the address of your property in the subject line so that the moment your email shows up, everybody knows where this email is going, who it's dedicated to. Majority of the time, when you get a solicitor in a company, a law firm who's helping you, you would have a dedicated solicitor who's helping you there and maybe somebody who's assisting him or her. So you address the email directly to him or her, but you also put in the CC whoever else has been copied in emails, communications between you both. Because if the solicitor is off work or maybe has been, let go or whatever, if the person is not around, you want to make sure that somebody else is picking up your case. Now, the main issue I've had with solicitors is you end up chasing so many times for them to do what they are supposed to do. Now, I'm not here to talk against solicitors and what work they are doing, but I would advise any person who's buying a property to make sure that you are on top of it, because all in all, you are the end beneficiary of the whole transaction. So if you have an idea of what's going to happen, then you know what to expect from them. So let's say it's been a week. You have they've asked you to look through some forms and fill it. They've asked you to sign something. They've sent you maybe a summary of the transaction you're getting yourself into. They've advised you, and nothing is going on. You don't see any emails going back and forth. You don't even know whether they've contacted the mortgage lender or whatever. You need to be sending emails to them and getting updates on what is going on. If your emails are not being picked up, please pick up the phone and call them, because you are paying them money to act on your behalf. Sometimes when you're a first-time buyer, you're a bit shy, you're thinking, oh, maybe they're busy, or maybe they're doing what they need to do. Please, people get busy at their workplaces and they forget about you. It's only people with the biggest voices or the loudest voices who gets looked after. So unfortunately, you need to have a loud voice too all the time, because you are paying for that kind of service. So if something is not moving the way you expect it to, pick up the phone, call them, ask for an update, get an email, reply on the email, keep the conversation going so that they do their part. If you see any reason or any moment where there's a time period where nothing's come back, please send another email and make sure that you are in control of the situation. Now, if you've read all the contracts that you're putting yourself into and you don't understand anything in the contract, please go back to the solicitor, type out the line or whatever it is, and ask them to explain it to you. This could be the contract of the mortgage lender. This could be the contract of the developer you are buying the property from, or whoever you are buying the property from. This could be something you didn't understand in the searches, because there are so many covenants, there are so many terms and conditions that if you are not on top of and you don't understand the legal wording, because there's so many legal wordings in some of these contracts, if it's not your day-to-day language, forget it. You might never understand. You need to make sure that you understand everything from top to bottom, from A to Z, before you sign anything. And the lawyer is not there to tell you, oh, don't buy this house, or, oh, because of this, don't go ahead to purchase a house. They're just supposed to explain to you what you are getting yourself into for you to make your decision. So they can't tell you that we think this is not a good buy, or have you thought it through, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not going to tell you what to do. They are just there to explain the situation to you. So when you move things forward and you understand what you're doing, you sign the contracts and then they execute the rest for you. Hopefully this helps with you having a relationship with your solicitors. And before you select a solicitor, I would advise that you go on Google and find out all the reviews, or read all the reviews of people who have used them to buy properties or sell properties or whatever you are trying to do. And please read into detail at least about 40 reviews. If they don't have as many, I would say avoid and go to another legal solicitor who has enough reviews for you to be comfortable working with them, because this is a very important process. This is a very big decision. There's a lot of money exchanging hands here. You really don't want to go into the wrong contracts. You really don't want to get the short end of the stick by not being aware of whatever is going on. So make sure that you are doing your due diligence, even for the kind of solicitor that you employ to act on your behalf, and make sure that they are actually acting on your behalf and getting the most out of this relationship with the solicitor. And if they do a good job for you, hey, give them a review and tell the rest of the world, so that some of us can also find out and use them if we need to buy a property or if we need to use their services for something else. Thank you very much. I hope this is helpful. Those of you looking to buy your first properties, I'm going to keep bringing wonderful videos that's going to help you make your first decision, or your decision for your first property. And if you have any questions, if you're thinking of a few things that you're not sure how to think of, just put the questions in the comments, and I will try and pick up on it and make more videos around it so that we can all benefit. Yeah, that's it for today. Subscribe to my channel. Like it if you like the video and all the other stuff you're getting from Abigail. Catch you later.